This video will discuss the accounting for the disposal of a long-term property, plant, and equipment asset. When a company is finally done using an asset and they dispose of it, either through throwing it away or selling it, we need to account for it. So the first step is to update depreciation on that asset to the date that it is disposed. And then we journalize or record a journal entry into the accounting system for the disposal by recording cash if it is received, or even if we have to pay cash to dispose of the asset, removing any accumulated depreciation from the general ledger that is related to the asset, removing the asset cost out of the general ledger, and the difference is recorded as a gain or a loss. If the cash that is received when the asset is disposed exceeds the book value of the asset on the date of disposal, we record a gain. And a gain really means that the company sold the asset for more than what it was worth. And a gain is an account that we haven't worked with too much previously. But a gain is really similar to a revenue. The company had a little bit of a profit off of selling this asset. So you can kind of think of gains similar to revenue accounts. Both revenues and gains have a credit balance, and they both increase the amount of income reported for the year. If the cash received is less than the asset's book value, however, the company is selling the asset for less than what it was worth to them, so they record a loss. And a loss is really similar to an expense. They both cause income to decrease in the accounting period they are recorded. And just like expenses, losses have a debit balance. So think of gains similar to revenues. They both have credit balances. And loss accounts are similar to expenses. They both have debit balances. If a company were to receive cash equal to the book value, then they had no gain or loss and there is none to record. So let's look at an example. On September 30th, ABC sells a machine that they had originally purchased at a cost of $100,000 and they sell it for $60,000 in cash. The machine was placed into service on January 1st of 2016. It was depreciated over those 2 years and 9 months using the straight line method, and the estimate used was salvage value of 20 and a useful life of 10 years. So the first step is to update depreciation expense through the date that the asset is disposed. The annual depreciation will be the cost of 100 minus the salvage of 20 divided by the 10-year life. Annual depreciation under the straight line method is $8,000. To get the depreciation for the first 9 months of 2019, or January 1st through September 30th, the date of the disposal, we would take that annual depreciation of $8,000 and multiply it by the fraction of the year to get partial year depreciation of $6,000. So first, we update depreciation expense by debiting depreciation expense and crediting accumulated depreciation for $6,000. That means we have now updated the asset's depreciation through the last day that we have used it, the disposal date. So before we can record the actual disposal, we need to figure out what the book value is. We have the original cost of $100,000. The amount of depreciation recorded was 3 full years at $8,000, plus the current year's partial $6,000 depreciation, bringing total accumulated depreciation to $30,000. Or the book value on the date of disposal of $70,000. So if the book value was $70,000 and we received cash of $60,000 for it, we ended up with a loss of $10,000. We sold an asset for $60,000 that was worth $70,000, a loss of $10,000. The journal entry will be to debit cash for $60,000, the amount of cash received. We need to clear out or get the amount of accumulated depreciation out of the general ledger related to this machine. Accumulated depreciation had a balance of $30,000. So to get rid of it, we debit that account. We need to clear out the $100,000 balance in the asset account. So we credit the asset to clear out the $100,000. In order to make this journal entry balance, the debits are $90,000, the credits are $100,000. So we are going to debit the difference, or the amount of the loss, of $10,000 to the loss on disposal of asset account. Recall, losses are just like expenses. They both have debit balances.